Hey everyone, my name is Erin Donlin and I'm a realtor in Indianapolis, Indiana. Today I wanted to do a quick video about the top 5 things you should know when buying in 2024. This is a part 1 of 2 series, and I will also be doing a video of the top things to know when you're getting ready to sell. So stay tuned for that. But right now, let's dive into the things that you need to know when you get ready to start house hunting. Let's get started. Now, before I get into this list of things that you need to know, I quickly wanted to mention some changes that are happening in real estate right now. So, you may or may not have heard, but there have been several lawsuits going around. And a few weeks ago, a settlement to these lawsuits was proposed by the National Association of Realtors. Now, nothing has been approved yet as of this taping, but there have already been some changes made at the local level. As of July 1st in the state of Indiana, it is going to be mandatory for any agent representing a buyer in a real estate transaction to have a representation agreement signed with that buyer. Now, this is something that has always been around, but now it is going to be mandatory by state law. Now, as for why this change has been put into place, I'm not going to get into that here, but I am glad to see it put into practice. I did want to address it up front because it is something that is going to be discussed before you even get started looking at a home. So, enough of that. Let's get back into what you need to know when buying in 2024. So I was sent this graphic a few weeks ago, and I think it underlines what is going on in the market. Here you have the original forecast for home prices in 2024. Now that we're a few months in, you see a lot of these initial forecasts have gone up. A big reason for that is the anticipation, especially at the latter half of the year, that interest rates will start to go back down. In the most recent Fed meeting, they have held off saying exactly when they're going to start looking at cutting interest rates, but it is expected that when interest rates start to come back down, just as we've seen in the past, more people will come back into the market. And because we still have a very low inventory, home prices will start to rise again. So you can play the waiting game and see what interest rates are going to do, but as long as our inventory situation has not changed, and spoiler, it's not likely to at this point, I would predict that prices are going to go back up. So that may counteract any kind of interest rate decrease you may see. There are a ton of new construction options. And the great thing about new constructions is that most, if not all, the major builders are offering below market interest rate promotions. I am getting emails almost every day from builders advertising a around 5% interest rate. Not to mention, a lot of builders are getting creative and trying to find ways to build more affordable homes. This has created a lot of builders looking at options at like townhomes and attached patio homes. So there is so much opportunity out in the market with new construction. You can get a brand new home at a fantastic price. So, if you don't qualify for new construction or do not want to look at new construction, there are ways to get existing construction more affordably. The best way to do this is through seller concessions. Buyers can use these concessions toward things like buying down interest rates or going towards some of their closing costs. So, this can be something that can be used either immediately for out of pocket expenses or towards the life of the loan. On the screen here, I have the allowable amount of seller concessions for each loan type. Not all loans will allow for a ton of seller concessions, especially if you are buying an investment property. But with FHA and USDA, you can ask for up to 6%. VA, you can do 4%. And with a conventional loan, you can do anywhere from 3 to 9%, depending how much you put down. So, talk with your loan officer and see what options are best for you. Now, the real estate market is a true market. There are times when the market is very hot, and there are times when the market cools off. Holidays are a great time to be looking for a house because there are typically fewer people looking at that time. Spring, on the other hand, typically March through the end of May, is when we see the most activity. Now, the market can be as local as one particular house. That's what they teach us in real estate school. Say you have a house that's been sitting on the market a couple of months. That seller may be open to a more aggressive offer than a house that just listed last week. So be sure to keep these things in mind when you're out looking so you can adequately judge how aggressive you can be with your offer. Having a great team around you is the surefire way to make sure your home purchase is stress free. In addition to a great realtor, you need a few other members of your team. This includes a lender, an inspector, and an insurance broker. These people should be communicative, able to answer your questions quickly, and at times even be proactive enough to communicate with the other party on your behalf. I will say, as an agent with almost 8 years in the business and almost 200 transactions completed, I cannot tell you how having great people around you makes your home purchase not only an easy one, but an enjoyable one. So, those are the things you need to know when you are getting ready to buy in 2024. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Either drop me a question in the comments below, or I can be reached on any of the social media handles on the screen right now. Thanks for watching and talk to you soon.